Thank you so much for taking part in this course. I hope you've had a lot of information from it. Please do note, I have other courses available for you. And what I'd like to do is share more information, more details with you. There are other free courses, but also there are some paid for courses. But what I really enjoyed about this course was the fact that we have obviously built a trust between us when it comes to me teaching you and you, the student, and hopefully you like my style. And if you pretty much get to this point, which only actually a marginal amount of the tens of thousands of people subscribed to this course actually get to this point. So well done for coming back and watching all of the conclusion, because here is what I want to give you is style. I want to give you something a little bit more so that you can come back with this. Now, the style is, how do you make applications? And this is the biggest thing that I face. People want to just jump in and start making applications. But you hopefully now can see that as you've gone through and you've learned the finer details, that you understand this language more. And when you want to, let's say, write big programs, you need to go through them in fine detail. You need to look at application architecture. A lot of people start programming and think that because they know the language, they'll know how to program. Yes, they will know how to give instructions. And the better you are at giving those instructions, the cleaner your code will be. But there's also style, there's syntax. You want to research this stuff. There's different architectures. I also have a Programming 101 course. It's completely free. It's a computer science course. Definitely recommend it. And with this computer science course, it's actually extremely beneficial. And the reason why it's so beneficial is because it teaches you about the lower levels on the hardware. But there's something more. It teaches you about architecture. You have object-oriented style patterns, you have modular patterns, you have procedural patterns. You have all different types of styles that you can use, and there's also different ways you can write your programs. You can write your programs in a very organized, neat fashion, and that's what you want to do. And you always want to look at simplicity in programming. Always go to simplicity. That will give you the understanding. Now, if you really want to start programming large-scale applications, my advice to you will be pick an application that's feasible for the skill level that you currently reside in. So, for example, building a to-do app, and then maybe making it like the Mac OS X app where you have the categories, you have the different to-do lists, and you can tag them with different colors. And then you have this. And don't forget that you need to combine your HTML and your CSS skills. Keep as much CSS in the CSS, keep as much HTML and markup code in the HTML and markup code. And if you absolutely need to do it, add that stuff through JavaScript. But as you start learning these things, you'll start growing as a programmer. My final conclusion to this entire course is just because you know the basics, you still have to know application architecture, you have to know the structure of programming, and you have to understand how to be a beneficial human being when it comes to developing programs. Your programs have to bring happiness to people. We've always had an issue with programs breaking down on us, doing wrong things. Don't start making large-scale applications, distributing those applications, and it's not going to fulfill its promises. It's your stamp, your trademark, your name is above the door in essence, and you want to make sure that your applications, you just do numerous applications, even if you don't finish them. Just try to do them and then get an understanding. And then when you do this, get a realistic expectation of time scale. Often I've said to myself, well, I can do this in a week, or I can do this in 2 weeks, or how come it takes so much longer? Because you're in cloud 9 when you first look at it. Yeah, I'll just slap this over here, slap this over there, but you're not factoring in bugs, errors, and also sometimes where the logic seems right inside of your mind, but it doesn't seem right when you actually put it into the program. There's something else that you didn't think of. There's numerous possibilities there. So what I want you to do is constantly focus on how feasible is it, time scale, and constant education, constant growing. But I don't just want you to look at the programming. I mean, the API itself, you can get a book, a cookbook they're called, and you can look at the API. So for example, you want to modify a string, you can see all the string methods, you can see all that's not the big deal. Now you've got the basics of that understanding and you understand what an API is. It's a collection in a scope of methods, for example, functionalities and properties. When you collect them together like an object, it's an API. jQuery is an API, for example. It's just an object. But The way in which jQuery works, for example, is the bit that you need to learn. The way that libraries are constructed, the way that you put programs together and your programs work with the data to combine itself, that's the bit that you really need to learn. That's the professional level. That's the level you need to get to. So don't try to focus too much on language features, although there is some more advanced language features to learn. But you do need to learn some more advanced language features. However, overall, what you need to do now is look at project structure, data, and I want you to map out the data. I don't want you to even design the user interface. Map the data out and then put that into your user interface. But technically, you could design the user interface as well. The design is the application structure, and then build the application structure. Just build an object that contains the data and contains some dummy methods that you need to get the data done. This is the type of thing you should practice and do. Thank you.